Hello, I'm Sarah from the UKHC team. Today I'm joined by Fredric Mau. He's a clinical mental health counsellor and he's recently been named Outstanding Counsellor by the on psychotherapeutic counselling and clinical hypnosis. And actually he's in Australia at the moment, gearing up for the Australian Hypnotherapists Association World Conference. Welcome, Frederic.
Sarah, thanks for having me. I'm delighted to be talking to you.
Yeah, great for you to be here. And I just have to say, that's a great background that you have there. I can just see the Sydney Opera House in the background.
Yeah, we got the Sydney Opera House in the background. If I turn a little bit, you might be able to just see the lamp, or you can in the window, or you can see the bridge that's here. Of course, it's night here, but I'm glad to be talking to you in the afternoon there.
Yeah, excellent. So you've presented and ran workshops at the UKHC every year since it started. And last year you were also on the Friday night panel.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good as an audience member as well. So, and this year you're speaking about the 3 doors, which is a protocol for treating anxiety. Is that right?
That's the topic, and I'm really, really excited about it. A lot of times with my presentations, people really enjoy them, but they tend to be very technical on how the processes function, the neurology of it, and I will cover a bit of that. But this one is eminently practical. I use it. It's a metaphor that I use all the time, and I think it's very adaptable, and I'm very happy to be passing it on to people. I think this is one of the better things that I'm doing at a conference.
Yeah, excellent. And you've been in the field a long time, and over the years, do you feel that you've seen an increase in the amount of clients with anxiety-related issues?
Well, I definitely have. When I was first in the field, I began not as a mental health professional. I was a lay hypnotist, and I was seeing a lot of weight loss clients and people for stopping smoking and things like that. As people began to have more and more serious issues, I decided to get my license, up my game a little bit, and just become better. And I found that people have come to me with more serious issues as time has gone by. The keynote speech that I'm giving here in Australia is on conversion disorder, about a woman that lost the ability to speak for 6 months. And so those sorts of extreme anxiety issues have even come out in recent years. And I don't remember seeing anything like that when I was first getting started.
Yeah. So you say that this 3 doors process is basically your go-to process for generalized anxiety.
Right. It's one that I developed over the years. I'm an Ericksonian hypnotist. And so the key idea with Erickson, of course, is that your subconscious mind, I really tend to think of it as the brain's emotional processing, but I'll use the language. Your subconscious mind is a vast warehouse of positive help and positive change that needs to be engaged. This is a process that really is about engaging the client's own imagination in order to lead them to solve their problem. I'll tell people at the outset, I don't have magical answers for your life, which is obviously true. But this is a way of engaging the person's own resources, building their efficacy. It's a metaphor that I really enjoy.
Yeah. And how has the process come about and evolved over the years?
It has some visualization elements to it. A lot of people that are familiar with NLP type processes will see some things that are very familiar. Really being able to tailor it to individual clients, and then being able to use the visualizations of each of the doors, which I don't specify the visualizations, being able to frame the visualizations for each of the doors to more and more progressively engage the client's creativity, thinking, subconscious, expanding the process in a way that expands the engagement of the client individually in it, I think is really the key to how it's developed over time. At the beginning, it was probably much more locked in. Now it's very freeform and open and really tailored based on an individual client.
Yeah, okay, so it's quite open and depending on the client's needs there then.
I kind of think of what we do as like an impressionist painting. You know, an impressionist painting doesn't really look like Paris in the rain. It just sort of evokes the feeling of it. And the more you can invite the client to create their own reality. My clients come up with solutions that are beautiful, that I'm a smart guy, but I would never in a million years have thought of, but they make total sense for the client. And this is a process that is designed to engage that ability, that creativity. And I think that's why the metaphor tends to be effective. So it's not just a metaphor out of a can where you're saying the same thing to every client. It really is a framing device that engages the client. And I think that makes it a really nice process, a really nice tool to have in the bag. It's my to go to with any client with an anxiety issue, probably in a first or second session. I expected to take care of a lot of problems, and then whatever's left standing, we'll, go and deal with those as we move forward.
Sure. Yeah. So your presentation is a 2-hour presentation. So you've got plenty of time to go into lots of detail about the process. What can people expect from the presentation?
Well, I think there are going to be a couple of significant things. One, with a 2-hour presentation, I'll definitely do demonstration of the process, so people will get to see how it operates and see how you use it with a client. Yeah. We'll need to volunteer, but it'll be great, and they'll enjoy it. Yeah. Another thing is I've really been conceptually rethinking what we know about hypnosis at this point, how it functions neurologically, and this will be an opportunity within the context of talking about the 3 doors to talk about, I think, neurologically speaking, what actually is happening with our processes. I really have come to sort of abandon the language of the conscious and unconscious or subconscious mind, and to really talk about cognitive processing and emotional or limbic system processing. And I think we can have a much more effective way to talk about our processes when we're talking to like medical professionals. And so with a 2-hour training, I think there is ample opportunity to both give a framework, which is what I tend to be kind of known for in my presentations, but then also the very practical process that you use with a client that really tends to be very effective.
Yeah, so it sounds really good. And you're speaking on the Friday evening at 5 p.m.
That's a cherry time right there.
Exactly, yeah. And you're in the main theatre as well, in the Q York Theatre. So yeah, you have lots of people there. And I think that, as you said earlier, it's just another tool for people to add to their toolbox for working with anxiety clients.
Well, I think it also has the ability, if you have a favorite process that you use, but you're looking for ways to think about your process differently or beef it up or engage in another way, I think this isn't just training you to use this process, but it'll sort of demonstrate how to go back and think at an overarching level about, like, maybe a favorite metaphor that you've had for a long time, and begin to pull in some of these elements, perhaps into your own process. So it may give people, if they want to use my process, that's great. If it may give other people ways to think about their own processes a little bit differently, though, and do some things that engage the creative subconscious, that emotional processing even more within those processes. So I think it'll be a good time. I think there's a lot we can do to play with it. I think it'll be very practical. I think there'll be nice information. I'm just really excited about this one. Yeah,
it sounds really good. And I'm sure there'll be lots of people attending because of the increase in anxiety that people are experiencing. So yeah, it just allows them to have a different framework, a different way of working, and a way that they can include their own current work to your framework too.
Well, I mean, you asked me at the beginning about anxiety increasing. Almost every issue that comes across our doorstep is an anxiety issue. And even something that's a mood disorder, like depression, is really just a fire alarm, and the fire is anxiety. And so I find if you treat the anxiety, depression tends to go away. And in general, my rule of thumb says it's anxiety, treat for anxiety. If I don't know what it is, treat for anxiety. If I treat for anxiety and it doesn't get better, treat for trauma. And pretty much that's as far as I go. At that point, we've pretty much handled everything, and it goes really well. But if you treat for anxiety, most everything gets better. And whatever it is you're working on, even the very basic things like weight loss or stopping smoking or things like that, if you go after that, then I think it gets better. And so this is something that it's like a core thing to have. and I think it'll be really, really useful.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, thank you for sharing a little bit more about what's going to be involved in the presentation.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's okay, no worries. I've enjoyed speaking to you. If people would like to get tickets so they can come and see Frederic on the Friday evening, do head on over to the convention website. It's ukhypnosisconvention.co.uk. The tickets are selling fast, so do make sure you get in there quickly. Yeah, I've really enjoyed speaking to you, Frederic, and I look forward to meeting you in person at the convention.
Sarah, thank you.
Yeah. Until then, anyway, bye for now.
Have a great day. Ciao.
Thank you.